Are custom art cards legal even if they're in an alteration to the original card? I know how to read. The answer is yes and no. Here, let's dive into it. This is one of my favorite subjects. I used to be a Magic the Gathering judge, and I used to do the judge seminars on card alter legality. If you would like to look it up yourself, it is MTR 3.3. But I looked it up so you don't have to. Artistic modifications are acceptable in sanctioned tournaments, providing that the modifications do not make the card art unrecognizable, contain substantial strategic advice, or contain anything that is offensive. They also cannot change the name of the legal card, and they cannot obstruct the mana cost of the card. So what does that actually mean in terms of the box, Mr. House card? As you can see, his name and mana cost are still there. His artwork is kind of recognizable. I don't know. I would give it like a 70%. And the power and toughness is still there. So would a judge allow this in a tournament event? Maybe, if they were really super cool. Would I allow it if I was still a judge? Yes, because I'm partial to alters, so I like to have them in the events. I think they make the events fun, but I can very easily see a judge saying no to this. However, this is a legendary creature. Most of my alters that I do for Commander. And Commander is a whole different ballgame since it's a casual event. You still have to like ask the head judge if you're going to one of like the competitive Commander events, but in general, Commander rules are much more lax than 60 card deck rule. Here's a card that's a big old no. The artwork is completely different. If you cover up the art, like the borders of the card, you still don't know what the card is. So this is just a big old no. However, again, this is a legendary creature, so this was done for a Commander deck. Here is a textless card that does follow the MTR. If you cover up the bottom of the card, you still know that that's a Phyrexian Obliterator. The text box of the altar of the card is allowed to be covered up. But again, the head judge is allowed to say no for any reason to any card, even if that card has been approved by another head judge. And then here's your standard border extension of a card where the text box is still there and then the altar is around the border of the card. If this was a creature card though, it would need to have the mana blips pulled out up here. Right here in the text box, the mana blips would need to be pulled out so that they're visible. If this was a creature card and the rock went over the mana blips and the mana blips were not visible, not legal. So I hope that answers your question. Whenever I sell altars, I always tell my customers that they always have to check with the head judge before they use a altered card in any event, even cards that I don't make. Every altered card you need to check with your head judge, and I never sell a card with the 100% guarantee and that a head judge is going to allow it, because that's just not true. When they follow the rules of the MTR, I said that these are judge-friendly altars, or they follow the guidelines of MTR 3.3, because that is technically correct. And it is not false advertisement. But thank you for the question. This is like my favorite question to answer, as you can see, because this video is fucking almost 4 minutes long.